Have you been duck hunting?
I haven't.
Are you planning on going?
I mean, whenever Chad gives me an invite, I might go. Yeah.
Have you been, Josh?
I haven't.
You want to go?
I'm trying to go duck hunting.
Are
I'm
you?
trying to go deer hunting.
Are you?
I fish, but
Yeah.
I've not
That's
done
right.
any
You
hunting.
are a fisherman.
I love fishing, but
Do
I've
you?
not been hunting.
What kind of fishing do you like to do?
I typically do crappie fishing with my dad.
Yeah. Y'all been on them?
Not this year. We haven't even been out. Like he's been so busy. I want to go fishing though. I love fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends that are pretty diehard crappie fishermen and have kind of, have upgraded the electronics to cheat code it a little bit, and they're on them, man.
Yeah.
They really, really catch them. So.
Ryan told me about a new sonar thing
That's
that
it.
he just and it like shows the fish swimming, like the tail.
Yeah, it's like a video game.
Like a video game.
You can literally watch your lure, you watch your jig fall down.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Watch the crappie grab it,
But you got to have the right jig.
Yeah.
Is what's fascinating because they won't just bite anything.
Right.
You have to have the right one in order for them to.
yeah, you may drop one right down on his head, and he'd be like, "All right, bro."
Not interested.
They're even making line. So part of the ultrasound is their form of ultrasound and sonar is so good, but part of it is your material velocity is why you can see things, and they're like doing fishing line now. They're manufacturing fishing line that are optimizing material velocity so that sonar can see the fishing line when it falls. Yeah. So they're changing the makeup of some lines to make it optimized for all the new stuff. Yeah.
And people will pay more for that stuff.
Yeah, man. Well,
even though do you consider it cheating? I don't know.
Oh, Jason,
Or just an advantage.
If we were a fishing podcast right now, you opened up the biggest can of worms because
I'm not a fisherman. Like I like to go occasionally if I can catch something, which is rare for me.
So you're a catcher.
If that's what you call it. I don't know.
You're a catcher man.
Catching me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want the guaranteed
occasional?
catch. You want the guaranteed catch.
Yeah.
Like you're going out, you're going to catch something.
See, I don't know enough about fishing. Like I don't research it. I don't go enough to know I need to use this jig. I need to be over here at this time of day.
Yeah.
I just I know you want to typically fish before it gets too hot.
Yeah.
Right?
We need to have some.
We need to
have
I know those kind of things.
We need to have one of some of our really good fishermen on. I may reach out to somebody and have.
That would be good. Yeah.
I think so. Where I stand on tournament use of the sonar, one, everybody with enough money has access to it, right?
Yeah.
So the playing field is open, but so the largest bass fishing tournament organization just set some standards with forward-facing sonar that are going to kind of change what they were able to do. If you looked at a new bass boat sitting on the lake that one of these guys is using this sonar, he's got like two 20-inch, it looks like he's got two flat screen TVs on the front of his boat. Now, BASS has gone and said, hey, we're going to limit the total amount of screen size you can have on your boat. So like they're going to say, hey, you can only have whatever inches of screen.
And why would they limit it?
Well, you got to think about it. I mean,
you can still zoom out on a smaller screen, right?
Well, you can see it on a smaller screen, but we're talking like if you've got that screen,
that's an advantage versus.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there, you can see every minute detail versus just imagine if you had your cell phone propped up at your feet.
You know what I equate that to? I equate it to spending like $5,000 for a really good photo lens.
Yeah.
And I could maybe every now and then take a really good photo, but I'm not going to be as good as that professional photographer that does it day in and day out.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, right?
Something similar to that, right? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, anybody with enough money can put those electronics on their boat.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody can. But it's going to take the person who takes the time to sit down and study it and learn the settings that they need for certain water clarities and so on and so forth. So to answer, that's a long way to answer your question.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cheating or not. It's cheating if you're the only person that has it. right? And you're not supposed to have it.
That's
Right.
true.
But
I
but
agree
if
with that.
It's a level playing field.
but if it's opened up and everybody's now, there's a little bit of me, like traditionalist in me, that's like, man, back in the day, we used to have to actually read a topo map and know what the bottom looked like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where now, it's, but the whole world's kind of like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
so.
every industry, everything is trying to get an advantage somehow,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And you see the same thing in sports.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's sport
Oh.
and in fitness,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
You're always trying to find a leg up.
Yeah, people
in
using
both of those.
trend and
Yeah.
they getting the leg up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
For
let's
right
get
now.
let's get our guests
Yeah.
introduced.
Introduce 'em.
Josh Jones is with us today. Thank you for joining, Josh.
Thank you for having me, fellas.
Yeah, man. Glad to
Josh
have
is
you.
from Nashville, Tennessee area, right? I think you were maybe born and raised in Portland.
I was born in Hendersonville, raised
Okay.
in Portland, essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
Graduated from Portland High School.
Okay.
When did you start going to school in Portland, in that area?
We were back and forth between Pennsylvania, but I think I started in Portland middle school in 6th grade. Yeah.
Okay.
I started going to Portland in 6th grade.
What year did you graduate?
01.
Oh, well, okay. So
So
we
you-
graduated
yeah.
99 from Gallatin.
We were trying to figure out,
right.
like, we
Yeah.
were trying to figure out, like, our age relation. So you are similar to my brother. You're closer to my brother's age.
Yeah.
My brother you might know James Ray.
James Ray. Yeah.
Yeah. My brother played,
Yeah.
American Legion ball with him.
Yeah, I know James Ray. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. There were like a couple guys like Portland guys that played
Yeah.
baseball with him. So
Yeah, he was really good at baseball.
yeah, he was good, man.
We had a good baseball team during that time.
He was a fun kid, man. My parents always tell the story that we were on a baseball trip, and I think for whatever reason James was staying with us, right? And or we were all like sharing room, however it worked out, and all the boys were wanting to dye their hair, like bleach their hair blonde, and James Ray was like, "Hey, man, you need to do mine too," and I was like, "Dude, your hair is darker
Yeah.
than the blonde kid already on the team."
Yeah.
And
He's got to go bleach, right? You got to go with bleach.
we
You messed it up.
blistered his
Yeah,
hair.
his hair. Was this in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, his hair was orange for a while.
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
it?
Probably. And it was probably me. Yeah. Like I was the one that we went to Walmart. Like we were somewhere in Alabama and went to Walmart, and James Ayer's like, "Yeah, man, you got to bleach my hair." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, dude."
That's a solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you went to high school in Portland.
Went to high school in
I know
Portland.
you played football.
Yes.
I saw you reminiscing recently on your videos, right?
I had some flashbacks on.
Are you missing it?
The good old. I've missed football so much.
Wish you could play tomorrow night.
Oh, I totally would.
Yeah.
I think I got a series or two in me.
Now you were running back, right?
High school.
fullback?
High school, I was everywhere.
Were you?
And then college, I got recruited to play running back primarily.
Okay.
And so I was blocking a lot when I first got to college to play. So I beefed up a little bit, added on a lot of weight to block much bigger people.
What did you weigh in high school and then in college?
High school, I was probably 175-ish.
Okay.
And then college, I was highest I'd gotten where I was actually on the scale. I'm like, this doesn't feel good. I got on the scale and I was like 222 or something.
Holy cow.
50-pound difference.
Yeah, and I was like,
Jeez.
I was declining bench press like 6 times, 315 like 6 times at the end of my workout
And you're like 5'9".
on a good day. So so I packed it on and then I lost like 40 pounds.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah, it was wild.
It is, yeah. Where did you go to school at? College?
Cumberland University was my undergraduate. I went to Cumberland University there.
Gotcha.
Graduated from there.
So you went to college at Cumberland, and I know today you're big in the sports fitness world.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I assume you have maybe a day job too, or is that
I do
all
have a
you
day
now?
job. I do have a day job
you? Okay.
still. My day job, I negotiate contracts with municipalities and industrial companies.
Okay.
The company I work for, we represent several different like pump manufacturing companies. And so those grinder pump systems that go into all of these
Water
intricate,
treatment.
yeah, water treatment, wastewater industry.
Yeah.
I negotiate the contract terms for the entire company for our sales engineers.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So municipalities across the country or just Tennessee?
Across the country, more so in like a southeastern
In the
conference
SEC.
like 3. Yeah, essentially that's kind of where we are. The company I work for, it's called Carva, and it stands for Tennessee, Carolinas, and Virginia. It's where the founders of the company
Okay.
came from.
Yeah.
But we're down in like kind of all that East Coast down a little
Yeah.
bit.
Are they based in Middle Tennessee, the company?
They're in Greensboro, North Carolina, is
Carolina.
the primary home, but
Okay.
they've started acquiring quite a few companies, and we're across the map pretty good.
Gotcha.
But yes, that's what I do during the day.
Awesome, man.
So the training stuff is like, it's my go-to. Like I had the nonprofit and stuff. Like giving back is kind of what I enjoy doing. Like really brings me joy. You know, the corporate stuff. It does a great job of providing for the family.
Pays the bills, right?
Absolutely.
It pays the mortgage, but doesn't necessarily fuel the fire.
Exactly. Yeah, like being a part of kids' growth and process and helping them gain confidence. That's what I'm about. Like that's what brings me joy at the end of my day, and that's why I do it at the end of my day. Finish up the work day, and I'm like, all right.
How many days a week, Josh?
I do 4 days a week because I kind of leave the weekend to my family, and I kind of just let out everything else just ride by. But I try to even keep my training scheduled to like if I was to work in Nashville, drive into Nashville, like and work at 8 to 5.
Yeah, what would it look like?
What would that look like? And so if I was like, if I left the office at 5:30, I get home 6:30.
Yep.
So I try to keep my training schedule within that kind of time frame, so I'm not 9-10 o'clock training. Like I kind of keep it at a fairly reasonable time so I can get
that's
home.
smart.
Yeah, Josh worked with my daughter and son for a bit.
Is
Yeah,
that why she's so fast?
Probably a good bit of it, yeah. I mean, I know when she first went to see Josh, her running technique probably wasn't the best, right?
No.
And I think he worked with her and,
Yes.
and improved quite a bit.
And then she took off from there. She just needed a little bit, and she's working with APG now, right? She's
She
working
is.
with, and she's already very athletic.
Yeah.
Just a few little tweaks for her, and she
gets
took
that from
off,
her
and
mom.
then working with APG. That's been,
My son, on the other hand, he's gotten a lot better. He's not as athletic as his sister.
He's strong though.
He's getting stronger. He's
That boy's
he's
strong.
almost 13, and they're hitting the weights and all that stuff. But I will have to say, I commend him because he has gotten a lot faster.
Yeah.
But all of that might have started with Josh originally with the
Could
technique.
have.
So you got your start in sports fitness conditioning really because of your love of sports in general. You missed it. Is that kind of how you got started?
yeah, like my wife actually, she's a head softball coach at Hendersonville. Her and a friend of ours, Chris, they were coaching softball together and always like gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I need something to do.
Like, I don't see you ever. Like, can I like get involved doing something?
Yeah.
I was like, and so she's like, hey, well, we're in the off season type thing. Why don't you come train them? And so like, I was like, all right. So it started off me working with the softball team. And then I had one parent kind of ask me, like I had been training since I'd left college. I'd trained some doctors and stuff, but once it kind of took off the way it did, I had one parent ask me from the softball team. She's like, hey, do you do this like individually? I was like, I can. And her son ran cross country. And so I was like, like, what am I going to do for a cross country runner?
Yeah. What kind of program we're going to build for this guy?
I was like, and I just kind of put something together kind of logically is kind of how I go about things whenever I'm approaching the athlete. I was like, let me see his finish. Like, let me see what he looks like running. I know he runs a lot. Like even before he would come see me, he'd run 3 to 5 miles.
Yep.
I was like, so it's not conditioning. Like, let me see what it looks like when he's finishing. And so he was really tense on his finish. I was like, that's what we're going to work on. I was like, so our 30-minute workout is going to be geared for your finish, not the beginning of your race. We're working on the end.
Yeah.
And so he would run before he came to see me. I would tax his legs. I would just put his legs through it. Like he ran even further than what he just ran. And then I would.
You mean like actually he was actually running, or you having him do drills like
He would run like out doing his cross country run, but whenever he come to me, I would have him do a drill, and I would attach him to a resistance band. And after I taxed his legs, through a little weight circuit, I would attach him to a resistance band and just have him run for a minute solid, and just that was our ending. I was like, this is your sprint, this is your finish to the finish line. And I was like, I don't want you tense, but I want you just going as hard as you can. And so it was really cool to see the results that he received. The next time he went back, he dropped 49 seconds on his.
Oh, that's awesome.
And running, that's a lot of time running.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he was an exceptional kid. And so it kind of just took off from there. And then just another parent kept asking me, another parent. Next thing I had little groups here, little groups there. And then
It's amazing how much disposable income parents have on their kids these days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find it.
To get them that next level up.
Yeah, you find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing now. Like even with my own kids, like I don't make my kids work out. They know what I do. So if it's something that they want to do, like we'll get to work. Like my son, he woke up one Sunday. He's like, "Hey, Dad, can we go work out?" Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You kind of waiting for that time as a dad where your kid says that to you, right?
Yeah, but it was on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and you're like,
I was like, nope.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what?
gotta go.
He wants to do this. We're going to make it happen. And so
Yeah.
we went and we worked. So it's not about like, I don't want to make them do something because they're not going to want to do it anyway. And I don't even care if they do it with me. But being in the industry of this kind of training thing, like I understand like it takes a lot more than just your natural athletic ability these days. Like I see it, like I'm seeing it with my own kid. He's not very big at all. And for a while he got away with being really
more athletic.
Being athletic. He was really fast, but now everyone his age are starting to get a little bit bigger, getting a little bit taller, getting stronger. And so he's not the fastest. And so that's something I've been preaching to him lately. I'm like, look, man, you gotta really separate yourself in another way now because you're not the biggest, you're not the fastest. And so like other factors are gonna come into the play when like you're trying to impress coaches, because I don't coach them. I've never coached him. He asked me a couple of times to coach him, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, man.
What's his sport or sports?
No, he doesn't do
Football, baseball, basketball?
football. Okay.
Yeah, he plays all three.
Gotcha.
And he's really good at them. And I enjoy seeing him play. I take a lot of pride in that and try to be present for those moments.
Oh, yeah. If you can be the dad and just enjoy watching your kids and not have to worry about coaching.
That's huge, man.
There's something to be said for that.
Yes.
Rocky, you hear that?
I enjoy it, man. I'm in the same boat. Like, I just love going and watching my kids play, not having to think about coaching them, give them words of encouragement when they're done, right? And that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's like little things that I just do not have patience for. And that's like being disrespectful, lack of effort.
Yeah. Effort's free.
Yeah, effort's free, man. I'm like,
Effort and attitude both are free.
effort and attitude. And so he's on that roller coaster just like any other.
Is he 11 or 12?
He's 11. He'll be 12 in February.
Yeah.
But he has such great energy. Somehow everyone has kind of drawn to his energy, and it's really cool. And I kind of tell him that. I was like, you don't realize how many people are actually paying attention to you.
Yep.
Because sometimes you're just thinking about yourself and how you're feeling. I was like, when your energy is up, the team's energy is up.
Yep.
I was like, no, you may not be the biggest, but your voice is the loudest. Your presence is known within that dugout, man. And I was like, man, that's huge. And so when it comes to effort and attitude, if I see it, like, nah, bro, no, that's not how we operate, man. Like, I want you to keep your head up. I don't care about you making mistakes. Like, that's what I tell them all the time. Like, I could care less about you missing the ball.
Yeah.
I don't care if you whiff on a block. It's going to happen.
Physical mistakes will always happen. It was always the mental stuff that bothered me more. Like on any, any team that I helped coach or coached, or watching a team play, it's never the physical stuff. I mean, you can trip walking up the stairs, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
the physical stuff happens.
Yeah.
It's hard to walk sometimes. So like an error at shortstop is going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But not knowing what to do or
Yeah.
not knowing where what needs to go happen is that's always the most frustrating to me.
Yeah, that's me. I told him, I was like, look, man, from a coach's perspective, I'd rather see you screw up going 100% effort
Yep.
and you make the wrong play, you might miss the ball. But those things can be corrected. But if you're sitting there and you're going half butt at something and you're still making the mistake, now it looks even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather you run through a wall the wrong direction
Yes.
than half do it and then still make the same mistake that you were worried about making.
Yes.
I was like, bro, I said, effort is everything.
Yes.
And we had this experience this week at one of his baseball games. He got a little frustrated. He had a teammate that went after a ball, made a great effort play, just bad bounce, caught him in the mouth. He missed the
Happens.
Yeah.
ball. The runner got on base.
Yeah.
My son, he went to go field the ball. He's very athletic, but he kind of sits back, waits, receives the ball, and kind of lobs the ball in the air. Runner safe. I said the difference was coach kind of got on to you about what you did because there wasn't much effort.
Yeah. It was the effort.
It was the effort. I was like, the teammate across from you missed the ball, but his effort was there. I was like,
right.
it was okay. I don't care about you missing if the effort is there. And so I have college players that I train as well. I'm like, I have one that's an extremely overthinker. She plays lacrosse. So if she ever watches this, she'll know I'm talking about her. Extremely intelligent athlete, just overthinks everything. And so like one thing I told her, I'm like, look, if you're getting an opportunity to get out there on the field, just go as hard as you can.
Yep.
Period. I was like,
Yeah.
they're going to see the effort.
The other stuff will work itself
The
out.
other stuff will work itself out.
Yeah.
I said, just go as hard as you can doing what you think is right, opposed to overthinking and still making the same mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell my kids all the time, when you overthink, you'll underperform.
Yeah, I think to your point, what you see on a field, if you're just a viewer that has no ties to the game or no emotional ties to it, when you're looking out on that field, who do you see the most? You see the player that gives the most effort.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Those things stand out. And I was like, when recruiters are coming to watch you, if they're showing up, they already know how athletic you are.
Yeah.
Sometimes the test is just to see how you respond to things when things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
Like that's more the look now, I think, probably
Yeah.
for recruiters and coaches is like, what's your attitude like when things aren't going?
When you go 0 for 3,
yeah, like
3 strikeouts.
Oh, yeah, they're looking at that.
Yeah. How do you act then? I'm a huge Tennessee Volunteers fan, Josh, and in the game last weekend versus NC State, my favorite play of the game was a personal foul penalty on 2 Tennessee offensive linemen because they literally blocked an NC State player like 20 yards out of bounds.
awesome.
Didn't give up. Like,
Yeah, those are awesome.
Continued through the play. They Michael Lord him.
Yeah.
Like just blocked him all the way down the field. And I'm like, I know Josh Heupel is like,
Awesome.
we'll take that penalty.
We'll take that penalty
those
all
15
day.
Whose sideline did they block him into?
into the NC State sidelines.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's even better.
Put that defensive tackle into. Yeah, it was like
You need to go back to the
go sit
sideline.
down. You sit down here.
Yeah.
yeah. It was, and then there was like offsetting part. Then everybody's mad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was like my favorite play from the entire game was
Yeah.
a 15
You
yard
don't see that too much anymore either.
personal foul for being too
effort.
rough.
Yeah.
yeah.
So for doing what you've been coached to do.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a drill.
For
You
continuing the block.
You go until the whistle's blown.
Yeah.
Josh, what kind of new trends are going on in sports fitness that you're seeing?
For me, I try to stay away from trends, but I see them as I'm scrolling through Instagram a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's a trend. Everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, you may add a little tweak here or there with whether you're using weights or resistance bands, but pretty much everyone's doing the same thing. It's just how they're portraying it to the world is more of the trend. But the sports fitness side of it has pretty much been the same since it started. It's just more of it, just being more consistent with it.
Yeah.
So it may not be a once a week thing now. Now it's 2, 3, 4 times a week. So that would be more the trend of picking up with the consistency of it is probably what I'm seeing. It's just not that
Even
every
with
once in a
with
while.
recovery too.
Recovery
maybe
is
that
probably
different?
recovery is probably a big thing that has picked up quite a bit.
Because I'm seeing like kids in like leg bags now and
Yeah.
all this kind of different stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Baylor's a big ice bath guy.
Or ice bath. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Baylor's
become huge, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Baylor is my senior at Galton.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the ice tub.
Yeah.
Like after their workouts, it is a daily thing. He is in that ice.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that would
Maybe
be
recovery more.
recovery.
And I kind of think about, when you look at some of the sports injuries that happen a lot, whether it's ACL tears with females, happens a lot in soccer, right? Or Tommy John in baseball,
Yep.
right? Is there things that you see or you know of now that can help prevent those? Is it the right running technique for the ACL stuff? And just less throws on the arm for Tommy John? Or the right way of throwing?
Yeah, it's the correct way of throwing. Because a lot of kids get away with, oh, they're doing well, they're throwing really hard.
Keep throwing it.
Keep throwing it. And then you wear them out doing it. And for me, working with me, I'm all about form. Form. I could care less about heavyweight.
Yeah.
I'm not a heavyweight pusher. Like, that's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm a stretch before, I'm a stretch after workout. Like, flexibility is huge with me because that's going to help kind of keep you in the game a little bit longer. I had a kid come with
Tom
this
Brady.
week. Yeah. Yeah, he's a little slow motion guy.
Yeah. Stretching.
But stretching, that's all I did.
He
Stretch.
got better over time in his career,
Range
right?
of
Because of
motion.
stretching.
Yeah.
Low weight.
Low
range
weight,
of motion.
range of motion. And that's what you want. Even as you get older, that's what you want. You're not going to be 50 years old. I mean, there are some out there, worrying about bench pressing 315 45 times or something like that. Like, you want to be able to literally sit up out of bed, turn, and stand up.
And not pull a muscle.
And
in your
not
lower
pull a
back.
muscle while you're doing it. While you're leaning over to tie your shoe. Like, range of motion and flexibility that's what you want.
Yeah.
And so if you can build that into the brain early, man, that's huge.
I think that's very important because I look at baseball players now. Soccer, I think they do a lot more stretching, before they practice and stuff. But I look at baseball sometimes and I'm like, they show up and they go right out there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
know what I
some
mean?
of them do for sure.
and it's like, shouldn't they be stretching? I mean, I know it's not as physical of a sport, but pitching and other things require a lot of range of motion.
But I almost think that can lead to some injuries because baseball's not athletic till it is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's almost sedentary. Explode right now.
Yeah.
And
if you're not warm up or keeping yourself warm throughout the game,
you think some outfielders, I mean, they may only make 3 plays a game, but those 3 plays that you got to make are
you're
pivotal, and you're 0 to all out, like for a center fielder. And it's like you've stood there for 4 innings.
Yeah, and I guarantee you could go to Major League Baseball games and you could see that.
Yeah.
Like the emphasis on stretching, they be a little bit laxed, and then you see them go to take off for that ball, and then the next thing they got a hamstring.
You got a
pull
hamstring
because they've been sitting there for forever. Not paying attention to the importance of kind of staying loose. That's huge.
Think about a DH that goes 0 for 3,
man.
0 for 3, and then hits a triple in his last at bat.
and pulls a hammy on his way to second.
Yeah, I mean he's literally done nothing all day, but eat fried chicken in the dugout. And now he hits a triple, so he's got to go from walking back to and from the dugout to now I got to go.
Yeah,
I got to go all out.
Yeah, I really like that trend piece. Recovery is huge.
Yeah.
It's expensive though. Isn't it crazy?
To do it right.
Yeah.
It is.
To do it correctly, it's expensive.
What about anything advancing in like the head injury space from a training or rehab? I guess it's more of just prevention, right? But I don't know. It's a big piece in sports right now, right? Head injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
So my thought on head injuries are the more athletic you are or can become to prevent it from happening, whether it's falling the right way,
Oh, yeah.
right? Things of that nature, right? Because you see a lot of the head injuries happen by falling and not knowing how to fall properly,
Right.
right? So is that something you see at all or is talked about or asked maybe from parents?
Yeah, I get it from time to time, especially with parents that are kind of a little timid about allowing their kid to play football.
Yeah.
You know,
Football's the biggest concern, right?
football's biggest concern, you know, because there's contact constantly.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of concussions in soccer.
Soccer.
There is.
Soccer has a lot of concussions.
Baylor-
I'm surprised they haven't had those.
Yeah. One of Baylor's
Skull.
You
friends.
see it with goalies
Yeah.
that sometimes wear the stuff, but yeah.
One of Baylor's friends is one of the female soccer players at Gallatin, and she's kind of dealt with a couple concussions through her career, and it's like, dang, man. You know, you don't necessarily think about it, but like it's a contact sport
It's
too.
a contact sport.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they're going up to head the ball, right?
Yeah.
They're running into people's knees.
Yep.
I mean, it's,
And I know we're not necessarily current or episodes aren't played like week of, but if you watch Thursday night football last night,
yeah,
man, there's going to be a lot said this coming weekend about Tua. Like he's had 3 or 4 major concussions in his career, and then goes out last night with a concussion. And
diagnosed in like 6 minutes
Well,
after walking
can
off the field.
yeah,
What do you guys think about that? I didn't watch the game, but I saw the replay.
man.
Didn't he just go straight down without looking and like straight into the
He went
No.
head
Guy's
first
knee?
into the
It was
defensive player.
to another
right?
player.
Why? So my question is, if you've had all those concussions, is that just a natural reaction for him, and why he's had so many concussions? Why would you do that?
Josh is the football player, right?
Like, I don't understand that approach from a quarterback.
From a quarterback.
He already had
Right.
the first down.
Yeah,
So
slide.
and he's protected.
Become a
Exactly.
baseball player.
Yeah, if anyone should be wearing one of those protective skull things, he probably should be. But another thing with those quarterbacks, a lot of them don't wear mouthpieces.
Yeah.
And that's huge. You think about a
Yeah.
boxer that
Yeah.
gets hit repeatedly,
Yeah.
match after match, heavy blows by someone professional. It's not like they're street fighting someone.
Yeah.
Someone that's literally targeting your head every single shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have very expensive mouth guards.
Yep.
He
You
was
probably don't have one.
they're wearing retainers to keep their teeth straight.
Yep.
Like they're not really wearing mouth guards, which is why some of them really probably get a few more concussions than what they should anyway.
You look at it half the time. You watch Patrick Mahomes Sunday. I'm sure they play Sunday. He's going to run around with it
Hanging out.
hanging out. Or you watch.
He always has one
Yeah, but it's not in his mouth. 90% of the time, he's like,
until
Chewing
right before
on
the play.
no. He's,
At all?
He's
He's chewing on it.
Yeah, he's
The whole
chewing on
time?
it. Yeah, it's like
So
out.
it's a nervous tick for him.
It's
maybe.
out of his mouth, like he's got a cigarette in his teeth. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, but you know, you watch any college football game on Saturday. There's going to be a play where a quarterback is checking the play at the line of scrimmage. He's going to step back into shotgun and never put it in his mouth because it's going to be stuck in his helmet.
Yeah.
He's going to leave it stuck in his
Yeah.
face mask.
It used to be a bigger thing in football, right?
It used to be a huge thing, and now
Yeah.
they're worrying about their knees. For me, and you're worried about head injuries, I would worry about the mouthpiece, the mouth guard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
making sure everyone has mouthpieces in their mouth and not just like chewing on them. Because I mean, everyone's getting bigger, they're getting faster, they're getting stronger, which means contact is going to be a lot harder than what it used to be. And
A proper mouth guard raises or lowers the percentages how much from a head injury or having one?
I mean, I don't think
Do we know this?
I wouldn't know the math on it, but if they took a boxer that's
It can't hurt.
It can't hurt. Like if you take a boxer's
Yeah.
professional career
Yeah.
over Tua, how many times have Tua been hit in the head versus a professional boxer?
yes.
Like, and compare that.
Yeah.
Like, and how is this person, the boxer, like being able to respond versus how Tua is?
Yeah.
No, granted, the contact is more like a small car crash.
Car crash.
You know,
Yeah.
when you're
It is.
when you're playing football. However, just like you are in a car crash, if you're wearing your safety belt,
Yeah.
the chances of you getting injured go down significantly
Yes.
versus ending up with a concussion. If you weren't to do those things that are put in place to help
Yeah.
provide you a little bit more safety.
You know,
Protection.
I've talked about it on here. I'm a race fan, a motorsports fan, and now there is like in the NASCAR in the Cup Series, because head injuries are such a concern with crashes. Like Dale Earnhardt Jr. basically retired because of concussions, and was like, "Hey, look, I can't get any more concussions. Like it's not good for my well-being to get those." If you'll watch now, after a race or when somebody gets out after a crash, you'll watch and a driver will take out a mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. And in that mouth guard, now they are putting sensors also in those mouth guards to measure X and Y axis G forces. Kyle Larson wrecked this past weekend and it was over 40 G's, his impact to the
It's
wall.
like being shot off in a rocket.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 40 G's, his impact was.
25% is the reduction.
It would be could be a 25% reduction just by
in
wearing a
concussions.
mouthpiece.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah. So
very
parents
quite
that are
significant.
listening, make sure your kids wear the mouthpiece.
Josh says, wear your mouthpiece.
Wear a mouthpiece.
25%.
I mean, that's what annoys me when I see that, like, because Brett Favre had a lot of concussions.
Yeah, so many old school.
And he never wore a mouthpiece.
No. Most of the time, it's the quarterback that doesn't wear. And I mean, none of us are doctors here, but if you watch any amount of football over a course of a weekend, it seems to be quarterbacks and like defensive backs
Yeah.
that get them. And those are probably the two that are the most likely to not throw their mouthpiece in.
Yeah.
Or even a receiver, right? A lot of times he's defenseless or whatever. But man, you watch a running back, he got his mouthpiece in.
They have their mouth guards in for sure.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry going to put the mouthpiece in.
Yeah, because you know the collision's coming for
Yeah.
sure.
And what is it like? Is it 3 or 4 concussions these days where if you've had 3 or 4, you're done?
Well, I mean, we're looking at Tua, and this is like 4 recorded in the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I had 3 in college, and this was before,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's paying attention to everything, and they pulled me. I forgot I did not play my junior season in college.
yeah.
I was looking through a yearbook. I was like, why is this guy wearing my number? I know I was there. And I was like, oh,
You were there, but you weren't there.
yeah, I was taken out during
Yeah.
summer camp because
Yeah.
I had too many concussions.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I lived it from a parent standpoint 2 seasons ago with Baylor. Pickoff play, dove into first, bounced his head off the turf at Beach, and went from a varsity starter as a sophomore to, dude, you need to sit out. Like he couldn't even be at a game because the lights were so bright at a game to sit in the dugout and watch the game as a teammate. He couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that experience with light. Like I couldn't even turn my TV on.
Yeah.
And at Cumberland, we played during the day.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have lights on the field then. And so our games were over by 5, 6 o'clock. And so at night, everybody's ready to get going. Like,
Can't.
no, I couldn't even move. Like, just the light alone just tore me up.
Yeah.
So I sat out my entire junior year.
And
One of
that's
the
been
first
like-
games that, like, when he came back, I was actually sitting in the press box, I guess, and he texted me and he said, "Hey, I need to go home." I'm like, "What?" It's like second inning. He's like, I can't do the lights. I'm like, "The lights?" He's like, "The field lights. I can't do it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right, dude, go home and rest." And so far, he's been good since. But
Oh, good.
it was
it's scary for a
weird
parent.
as a parent. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So it's been like 15 years for you, 20 years since the last one that you had.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you experiencing anything today?
I still have like sensitivity to light.
Yeah.
Like car headlights. Like I know when a car has bright headlights on. Like,
Yeah.
like from a far distance too. Like I know, like my eyes are that sensitive to light. But I don't know, and I think maybe my short-term memory here and there, like because there's just certain things I just do not remember.
yeah.
And I thought it's been kind of weird myself. Like as I'm thinking, I was like,
Maybe.
I don't know. Like if you show me a picture, I can like suddenly recall it.
Yeah.
But I have a great memory sometimes, and then there's others I'm like,
That also could be because we're married too.
oh, that totally happens.
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you not remember? Yeah.
Oh yeah. We hear that all the time.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we're all in the same bucket here, John.
Yeah.
We all have that problem.
That's right.
Our wives would tell us we do.
Yeah. And I don't know
Selective
that I
memory.
had that many concussions, but I don't remember a lot.
So injury prevention, I think, is a huge part of sports fitness. Right?
Absolutely,
We talk
yeah.
about it. I think part of that, like we said, is knowing how to run the right way.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. From a training standpoint for you, I know that's a huge thing for you, making sure kids, if they're in sports conditioning, you're going to make sure they know how to run the right way.
Right.
What do you look at with a kid? Are you able to see it instantly on what they're doing wrong, just based on your history and knowledge? Are you like looking at a video? What tell us how you go about that?
Matt, we're going to do some B-roll of Jason running and Josh critiquing.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, he's going to find like 10 things right off the bat.
Yeah, this is how we go viral.
By the
right
way, I thought I would. Hey, here's a story for you. 3 years ago, I thought I could still run fast. I'm out on the baseball fields, and my daughter wants to race me.
She's fast,
You were going to
too.
dust her.
I'm like, I got you. I'm gonna take you. You know, I'm talking it up. But I'm like, by the way, I have the wrong shoes on. So if I lose,
You said an excuse.
if I lose, it's because of these hiking shoes I got on.
He's like, I've got my Air Maxes on, not my Pegasus.
So, anyways, I'm thinking in my head, right? I'm 40. I'm 40 years old at this point. I think I'm thinking in my head, I'm still fast, right?
Yeah, you're not,
like
though.
fast, like in my 20s when I played basketball fast.
Yeah.
Right?
You're not.
Quickness. And dude, I learned real quick how slow I was.
Yeah.
My daughter smoked
Yeah,
me.
she's fast too, man.
smoked
I
it.
know she. Jay's
Baylor
fast.
did it. Baylor did it to me about the same time, like in front of friends and everything. Like he kicked my ass.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
But that when that happened, that told me, and I learned just how fast my daughter was. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be beating her.
or
anytime soon.
lack of your
Or how slow I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And watch it, and we had it videoed, by the way, and I looked so slow in the video. I
And
was
in
like-
your head, you
I
were
was like-
flying though,
Yeah,
weren't you?
and I was like,
I am
I was
moving.
like, delete.
Lost foul.
I love, this is completely off, but I love, like every year the draft, the NFL draft, Rich Eisen does the 40 stuff and
Yeah.
all those dudes run the 40. And I remember one of the radio stations here in town, I want to say it was when Chris Johnson was playing for the Titans. And it was like, he ran 4.24,
Yeah. It's
right?
insane.
I don't think the average person realizes how fast 4.24 is, right?
That's flying, man.
I cannot remember how many. It's not been that long ago, but like the radio station set up this thing at the Titans Stadium, and they were like, whoever could run like a 4.5,
Yeah.
got
Yeah, I remember that.
got
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and it was like nobody ran a 4.5
Yeah.
because everybody's like, oh, that's not that fast.
That's fast.
It's so fast.
I
So
think
fast.
my fastest 40, like in high school, was probably a 4.49, like 4.5. I stayed around 4.5-ish more than the
Yes.
4.49.
Which is still fast.
Yeah,
That's very fast.
Yeah.
my game speed was fast, like because I can I was looking back on my
4.49 in
films.
pads.
Yes. So I was looking back on my film and like I look at strides and stuff
Yeah.
now, like as you were kind of going towards like, and so I was like looking at my stride as I was sprinting. I'm like, oh, so I'm like 1 and maybe a half step every 5 yards. Like, so if you watch Tyreek Hill at top speed, that guy takes 1 stride every 5 yards.
Yeah.
Really.
He's a sprinter. He's an Olympic sprinter speed guy.
Yes. If you watch him at top speed, once he breaks open, you will see that he takes 1 step every 5 yards.
Yeah.
That's like from that wall almost to that wall.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
going
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
in pads.
In pads with other fast people around.
So with kids, when you're looking at their running, you're looking at the stride.
I'm looking at stride. I'm looking at how they take off. I'm looking at just the wasted movements. I'm in baseball now. I never played baseball, but I'm in it now, and I absolutely love it. I teach kids on how to run.
Yeah.
Just getting off the basics because baseball
needed.
and softballs, you can't waste any movements in a game of inches. Like you're literally you can't tell how many kids have been close to being safe or out, just literally by their foot going from here to the base.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And
Happens
so
in every game, probably.
It happens every game.
Yeah.
And so those are the little things that I have that like kids look at. And those are things that I try to record so that they can see what I'm talking about when I say no wasted movements. I mean, I literally start from scratch, like your arm movement. Because if you're running this way, your body's going to want to sway left to right versus your strides going straight. So I have a kid that plays baseball. He's already fast. His quick twitch movements are absolutely insane. But he was wanting to go from a 6'6" to a 6'4", 60.
Yep.
So he came to me and I'm like, man, he's fast, but like, what do we need to fix? And so like, I'm watching, I'm like, oh, okay. You're wasting too many movements just from the start. He would start a little bit too high and then drop. I'm like, hey, if they're going on first movement, you've lost time going from here to here. So let's start a little bit lower. And then if he's opening to run, like he was leading off, his strides were reaching.
Yeah.
I don't know why kids do that. I don't know if they see somebody that's fast that kind of runs like that, but they kind of, instead of their strides going straight, they're kind of reaching way out here. I'm like, man, you're losing distance going forward because your steps are going out. So I took like a rope and I had him, as he turned, each stride had to hit on each side of the rope, but close to the rope. So like you would walk naturally.
Yep.
So getting him to focus on that and not getting far away from it. Those little tweaks and a little bit more work with his flexibility so that he's utilizing his entire stride whenever he's running.
Yeah.
His showcase after that, he officially got clocked at a 6'3".
There you go.
So he went from
awesome.
a 6'6" to a 6'3".
Yeah.
And he wanted to be at a 6'4", you said?
He wanted to be at 6'4".
Yeah.
And so that was like, I was like, dude, we did that. Like,
Yeah, it's a great story, man.
man, that's a huge story, man. And
So you think you could improve Jason?
I bet you I could.
I think he could improve anybody.
We've got
Because-
material, Matt. We've got a task.
I mean, to Josh's point, even if you could take off the right way,
You're going to gain speed.
you gain 2 seconds maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. That's why I'll beat probably, like, I might pull something, like if I haven't stretched properly.
Yeah.
But most of the kids, I'll beat them. I know I could beat them just simply because I know how to take
You
off.
know your advantage, or, right?
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of speed, I really hope this dude is listening to this podcast, and we're going to tag him whenever Jason makes a reel of this. But I beat Andre Law one time in a foot race. Do you know Andre?
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Lee and Andre Law. I beat Andre Law in a foot race at the baseball park when our kids were playing coach pitch, and I want Andre to be in the comments and let everybody know that I did do that.
But where were you racing
Love you,
from
Andre.
to?
Fence back to the foul line.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
foul line.
so good
Fence
Yeah,
back.
that's a good distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I beat him fair and square too. I didn't trip him, didn't do anything. And Andre's fast,
Okay.
but I got him.
Okay.
Love you, Dre.
How many years ago was this?
10?
Okay.
Oh, man.
10?
We need to get you some work with Josh then.
I might go with Josh. Andre, start stretching now.
Who wins
buddy.
out of you two?
Yeah. I don't know. We should
If
do
I can
private.
if I can trip Chad before he can get started, I might win.
We should do private workouts.
That's what I think he would have you on the start.
We
but
should-
if you could use your long legs, you'd probably
if I can
catch
get
him.
my stride.
We should do private workouts.
That'd
Get a
be
baseline.
awesome.
We're gonna do like a little short YouTube series. Get a baseline.
That would be
see where we are. We're gonna work individually with Josh, and do like a 6-week thing, and then see.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That would be solid.
I like that.
It would be fun. We may go viral.
Dude, that would be insane.
2 podcasters and sales guys tear ACLs, rupture disc in lower back while training for foot race.
I mean, because we would need a start time.
Yeah, we gotta have a baseline.
We got to have a baseline. So you're going to have to do a lot. Just do a lot of stretching, to get the baseline.
But
so that way nothing is pulled.
That's right. But I think we do it separate.
Yeah, do it separate.
Separate. You're gonna.
I got to get better on the stretching for sure.
Yeah, I'm like pretty stiff. I'm not very limber.
Yeah.
Good way to start is like getting out of the shower. Something like I do. Like when I'm drying off my legs, I literally just kind of hang down there. And like solid.
No yeah.
There's your reel for
There's
this.
the real for the week.
Sorry.
No, right.
Josh. Some of us hang down there. Some of us.
Oh, it's a solid right there.
Some hang more than others.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Some hang more than others. We've lost Jason. Josh said, "Yeah, something I do when I go."
As soon as he said, "I literally hang down there," dude, did you plan that one?
Yeah. So many people are like, "You do? I don't."
Yeah, maybe just reach for your toes.
Yeah, reach for your toes.
Reach for your toes. Muscles are loose. Go ahead and reach, touch your toes.
Forget the hanging.
Don't hang down. Don't worry about hang. You don't want to be disappointed. Just go.
But if you're one of those that can hang, continue to hang.
Continue hanging.
Yeah, you lost Jason. I saw Jason
I
on
saw
the
his
corner.
face change. I was like, uh-oh.
Well, somebody had to get it
Yeah,
started.
that was nice.
There we go. There's
All right, so
Jason's out
stretching
there.
after you get out of the shower.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And just randomly, like sitting like that,
Yeah.
if you lean forward, you'll feel it in your hip.
Yeah. Easy.
Did you feel that?
A little bit. Yeah.
As you come forward towards your leg,
Yeah.
you'll start feeling it in your hip.
Yeah.
So just as you're just kind of just casually just sitting around, you can stretch at any time. You don't,
So for the business professional like us that are sitting down half the day, even yourself probably on your 9 to 5,
absolutely.
what do you recommend that one does? You know, do we get up once an hour and stretch, go for a walk?
Move. Don't be sedentary.
Yeah. Get up and move.
Yeah,
Or what kind of routine, what kind of stretching do you
Like
recommend?
like keep the move, the stand up on your Apple. Like most people,
We're all
wear.
wearing one.
Yeah. Keep that, like turn that on.
yeah.
I mean, and then literally just get up and just go walk. Like I do a lot of reading. So I'm sitting there in front of a screen.
Yeah.
So like there are times things just start to merge together after a while. I'm like, I just got to get up. I'll literally just get up, walk away, do a few stretches here and there. Just to move.
Yeah.
Just moving is key.
Don't stay complacent in
No,
one
don't
spot.
come.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Like those stand up, those things are wonderful to
Get
have.
up, take your dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Like do something.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
Like I have my mom, she like always asks me to, like, I need to work out. And I'm like, Mom, no, you don't.
Just
Like,
walk.
Just walk.
Yeah.
Just move. Just all you got to do is walk.
Don't stop.
That's good advice.
No, don't stop. Like she lives in an apartment. I'm like, hey, even if you like came home and you just took the stairs, just take all the stairs up and around, just go a few laps around the steps. I was like, that'll be plenty.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't need me to put you through some sort of workout. I was like, it's not something you've done your entire life.
Mom, you wouldn't be able to handle it anyways.
Yeah.
Not Josh's workout.
Wonder what mom's 40 time is.
She's too responsible. She has too much liability at work and responsibilities at work, and they would not want to see her home because of muscle soreness
with her leg propped up.
Yeah. So and she moves a lot. She works in a hospital. So
Yeah.
What kind of routines are, back to kids sports fitness from a routine standpoint? You want to see a kid twice a week? What do you recommend on the proper techniques of doing things?
for me, like I like a minimum of like twice a week if they're coming to see me, and then I can give them a little homework after we've kind of gone through what I need to go through with them. But I'm still like emphasizing stretches. I'm still emphasizing like the little things. Like if I'm teaching you how to run, sitting down in front of a mirror, just doing the arm movement. I tell kids now, take your cell phone from your pocket to your ear.
Yeah.
Like that's the movement. Like elbow has to be forward and not down.
They should probably struggle with that because they're not used to talking on the phone. They're more like,
No, they're
That's
more like
true.
here. Yeah.
yeah, they're like, what?
Or they have earbuds in.
Yeah, you talk on your phone?
You guys lift your phones to your ears?
Yeah, who does that?
Who does that? But like just little things like that, just assigning them something. Like I have them do step ups a lot, like really working on being explosive off the ground, not like bouncing and then going, but just being explosive, being very intentional with the movement. So that way we can move on to the next thing. So a couple times a week, being consistent, working on your flexibility is huge.
Can you tell if they don't work on their flexibility on their own when they come back in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're calling them out for it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, you didn't do that stretching, did you?
No. Oh yeah, and I can totally tell.
Yeah.
Like even if it's the arm movement exercise, like I can tell when they've done it because they're anxious about getting to that part of the workout.
Yeah, they're like,
to show that they've been kind of doing it. But the ones that haven't, they're like, oh crap.
Yeah, they know.
They know, and then I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
you didn't practice this. No, maybe a little bit, yeah. And you're having a little bit of a result.
Yeah.
Like I'm the one that like, I'm gonna give it to you straight. Like there's a lot of money that goes into play when it comes to doing these extra trainings now. Right? I mean, and you're paying for time, everyone's time, money, like a lot goes into it. I mean, I'm straight. Like I'm
Let's
like,
not
look,
waste it.
let's not waste it.
I think at the end of the day, the kids gotta want to do it. To your point,
They have to want to do it.
so I think from a sports trainer standpoint, let's say a kid comes to you, and you can just tell that they're not really into it very much. Are you going back and having that conversation with the parents? Hey, I love your kid. I like him a lot, but he doesn't want to do this. Is that something you have and talks
yeah.
about?
Yeah, I've cut it to them all right there in front of them. Like, look,
Yeah.
you got to figure out if you even want to play sports, period.
Yeah.
Like, because what I'm doing for 30 minutes is nothing to when you have to go compete in high school and you're practicing a couple times a day in the heat and now you have pads on or whatever. Like, that's a lot more than the 30 minutes I'm putting you through.
Yeah.
And so like I'm straightforward. I don't care about filling up a gym with a bunch of people that don't want to be there just to fill my pockets. Like I do it because I enjoy it.
I love it.
Like my wife is a coach and I would train her team and I'm like, look, yes, the money is a cool little byproduct for it, but I enjoy doing this. Yeah. So if I'm not getting the response from the effort I'm putting in when it comes to coaching, like I'd rather stop than kind of deal with that because I just thoroughly enjoy like being a part of the process of watching a kid grow and improve and their confidence improves. Like I just love that aspect. And I've trained everyone from females getting ready for the fitness portion of their beauty pageants to just adults in general, and then kids that just need to kind of exercise, and then plenty of athletes along the way.
But mostly kids though, but you said adults too? Yeah.
I just don't post the adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for when.
Except for us.
Yeah. When we.
You do. We got to have every.
We're going viral.
I mean, it sounds pretty good.
I think
we should try it.
I'm in.
Yeah, we'll have to set that up. That's going to be awesome.
So we get a pre-run time.
Yeah.
Train for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, 6 weeks. I think 6 weeks is fair, right?
Oh yeah, a couple times a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. If anything, it gets us in better shape.
Yeah, it's got to be after duck season though.
Yeah. So early spring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
start in February.
Yeah, that'd be solid.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that'd be
probably better than the boxing thing you see people do now.
Yeah, I don't want to box. We're in different weight classes.
Yeah.
We can't box
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, because he caught you with a haymaker.
Yeah, because
it would hurt.
Yeah, I'm like a welter. I don't know what's the weight divisions now. I don't know what weight divisions.
Welterweight, lightweight.
I mean, you're heavyweight.
Yeah, you would be classified.
Probably
as heavy.
I'm 225.
You're
Oh
heavyweight.
yeah.
You're
You'd be like a middle heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, middle heavy. I'm
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I think you got to be 235 maybe for heavyweight.
I got one of my really good friends. He's a professional fighter, and he's a heavyweight, and I think he fights at like 275 or something.
Oh, that's a big.
265, something like that.
Yeah, I'm like 170 pounds. I'm like cutting weight to like 160. So
No, yeah, you would.
welterweight.
If you walk around at like 170, 175,
You're gonna be 160.
You want to fight at like 155.
Yeah.
Because when you like after you weigh in and
You're gonna go put it right back
you're
on.
going to put it back on. So I watched a guy go from when I was training mixed martial arts. I had a guy training with us, and he went from 210 to 175 to fight.
Dang.
And he was the biggest 175 I've ever seen.
That's some Conor McGregor stuff.
dropping the weight within a week to get down?
No, just dropped it. No, within his
window.
his fight camp time.
I
So
got you.
it
So
might have
like
been
4 months or 6 months or something like that.
Oh, it's
Less than that.
maybe like it's like weeks. I mean, their fight camps like maybe go for about 6-7 weeks, and then I mean he
So
literally went
sweating
from
continuously, doing
Yeah.
the sweat bag thing, all that stuff, right?
go to oats. Like some of them, it's wild. Like seeing those dudes like reduce weight like that.
Isn't that's got to be it's
can't
bad
be
on
good
your
for
body, right? Can't be good.
If you don't do it in a healthy manner, it certainly can be. That's why you see some of them look like they have to almost be held up trying to make weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not my thing, but my buddy does it. He does a fantastic job of it. The discipline you have to have
Oh man. Yeah.
of like managing, like, because right now I guess he's 275, and usually he would walk around at like 300, if not a little bit more than that. And he's like, I'm just trying to maintain so that I'm ready. If they call me randomly, I can go out and fight, because he fights over in Russia. And
that takes a whole different
sounds
dude,
legit.
too, don't it?
oh, it's legit. You'll have to look him up, man. His name's Tony Johnson Jr. Like, it's insane. The discipline that dude has when it comes to like his training and managing his weight, because it's on him. Like,
Yeah.
nobody like wakes him up.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time to go train today. Like, it's either on him, and you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if you train like crap,
Yeah.
or halfway, you're going to get the halfway result when you go to show up and someone knocks your teeth out.
Yeah, you don't want to get your ass beat up.
Yeah,
In
and-
Russia,
Yeah,
for that matter.
I don't need to be getting hit.
Yeah, and then they don't.
Especially in Russia.
And I don't think they do much of the performance enhanced testing.
Testing, I'd say.
Probably not.
I would
there.
say there's no testing.
And some of those dudes are massive.
Yeah, no holes barred. Everything goes.
Yeah, man, it's kind of wild, but
Yeah.
just being consistent, stretch is kind of what I'd sign.
Yeah.
It's just the little things when it comes to running, but the little things in running can make a huge difference in time.
Yeah.
When you're talking about game of inches where you can't waste any time or any movements.
Yeah. Let's talk about segue into nutrition. Huge part, I think, in today's day and age, right? If you talk like 20, 30 years ago in sports fitness, I would imagine now is so much different
Oh yeah. Oh
with
yeah.
sports nutrition and stuff that's out. So is that a conversation you're having with people that you train, assuming it is? Like, what are they eating? They eating right?
Yes.
Here's what you recommend.
That, like if I have a kid show up to train and they're not doing well, first thing I ask them is, "What'd you eat today?"
Was it what you eat today or what you eat yesterday or
Or
like the whole
Today's a
week?
good place to start.
I
good
start
place.
with today.
Yeah.
Because I can see it. Like what'd you eat today? I'm like, look, when you're talking about going to school all day and then you're leaving school and you're having to train a few hours later, especially knowing what you're doing with me.
Yeah.
I was like, you certainly have to load up kind of throughout the day. Like, make sure you eat. Like, eating like a bird and then coming through what I'm about to put you through isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, so nutrition is huge. I tell them, like, everyone, like most kids like that I deal with, they understand the difference between, gasoline and diesel.
Yeah.
I was like, your body's like it's essentially exactly like a car. I was like, if you put diesel in a gasoline operated vehicle, it's not going to function.
It won't run.
It's not going to run. I said, so if you put junk into your body, it's not going to run the way it would if you put the right stuff in your body. It's going to run, but it's going to drag. And you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it immediately. Just like if you have McDonald's as an adult when you never had McDonald's. It always sounds good until it isn't, right?
It sounds good till you eat it.
Right. And the moment you eat it, you're like, gosh, I feel like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, your body is like wanting just to reject it right away.
There goes our hopeful sponsorship of McDonald's.
Sorry, McDonald's.
Man, listen, if McDonald's was our only option or our only one, I couldn't lie and say that I ate McDonald's. 'Cause
Yeah, no doubt.
I am not the McDonald's
Yeah.
guy.
No, not good to put in your body at
Yeah,
all.
you can switch to a fish fillet, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
No bun.
they give me a hard time because of Chick-fil-A. But
The only thing good you can get at McDonald's is the little eggs, probably.
yeah, Egg McMuffin.
Or not even the McMuffin. Just get the
Get the
just
egg?
get the egg.
Can I get like 6 eggs?
That's about all. That's
maybe.
about it.
Maybe.
You
Yeah.
can order just the eggs.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, nutrition is huge. I mean, it's something I struggle with getting my own kid to eat. Like he's small right now. I'm like, and he just goes. So his metabolism is really, really high. I'm like, bro, we got to get more in you. I was like,
Yeah.
you're not gaining any weight. I was like, I know you're strong for your size.
Yeah.
I was like, but you're mentally strong as well. So before you move something, you're telling yourself mentally that you can
Hey,
do
I
it.
can do it.
Right. So your body may not even be ready to really move it, but mentally you're like, yes, I can move it.
Yeah.
So you can move it, but you couldn't do it consistently. But nutrition is huge. And there's a guy that I know that he Fuel Fortress in Bowling Green, Josh Biggs. He does nutrition meals. So if you guys need that, you just let me know.
might
He
for-
Like
does-
prepackaged meals and stuff like that.
and they're awesome. Like he has some good stuff. He even has desserts. Like he can high proteins, carbs, whatever the goal is. Like he delivers to this area he would.
I think for adults, right, it's so much easier for us to plan and eat better. But for kids, right, especially if they're in the public school systems, I mean, they're not getting good foods and nutrition.
Unless mom and dad or whoever's doing it for them at home.
Yeah, well, if they're packing their food, right, even then, it's tough to give them good food. I think every day, right?
Yeah, we try.
That's packaged, but we try. But to that point, I think that dinner meal or that breakfast meal is even that much more important, right?
Absolutely, because that's the one. Those are the ones that you can control, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause,
Absolutely.
my wife and I, we were actually talking about that with our youngest. He's 4, and he'll go from just wanting to eat to not eating it at all, and it's just like, oh well, his skin's breaking out because he's eating like crap. I'm like, well, we're in control of what he eats. I was like, so he's only eating what we're allowing him to eat. Of course, he may sneak his own little snacks here and there, but little 4-year-old, they're going to eat when they're hungry. They're going to tell you when they're hungry. But like it starts like really young, like developing those habits. It's hard because we're always on the go and you're worried about convenience. And so one thing that we try to do, not consistent enough, but is just try to cook like more.
Yeah.
Because I notice the kids eat it. Like I can't even like finish preparing it
And they're eating.
because they're eating it. And so I'm like, well, he loves the chicken I make. But it's like, oh crap, well, we got to make sure we have the chicken here so I can cook it.
Yeah.
So he has it to eat it versus the convenient nuggets that you're just popping in the air fryer and hey, we got to get to the next practice or something. Like, but yeah, nutrition is huge. And I've addressed that recently with several athletes, like some that have goals to lose weight. I'm like, hey, you're only seeing me a couple times a week. So the other 5 days are on you. And so if I can only be there for you for so long. You have the map. I was like, it's up to you to kind of finish the rest of it, navigating the rest of that. I was like, you have to want to kind of meet your goals. I said, because twice with me is only going to get you so far.
Yeah.
That's the big part of the process, man. Is like making sure that thing's fueled and like how bad do you really want it, right? Like, are you willing to eat?
Yeah, and to your point, kids, I mean, until a kid is 13, 14, 15, us as parents, we have to ensure that the kids have the proper nutrition.
For
'Cause
sure.
Otherwise, they're just going to eat whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so for Chad and myself have talked about this recently, but what I try to do a lot is I'll cook a beef or a chicken, make sure we have rice ready because the kids want rice, right? And then we'll have avocado and tomatoes and lettuce, spinach, and we'll do like rice bowls.
Yeah.
And our kids love that, right?
Yeah.
And it's a quick and easy, man. And it's healthy. You got all your nutrition that you need, your carbs, your protein, your greens, everything. Yeah. So I think that's a great go-to meal for kids. And they seem to like it a lot.
Yeah. My son, I make fried rice, and with grilled chicken in it. And then he has this little thermos thing.
Yeah.
So that he takes to school for lunch because we asked like, hey, this is what's for lunch. Nah, I would just want to take something.
Yeah.
And so I made a big thing of fried rice so that because he loved it. And so he was like taking it every day, and it, has the carbs in
Yeah.
it, has the protein in it, it had the vegetables in it, and he loved it, and he would eat it like multiple times a day.
That's
He
right.
wouldn't mind eating it for lunch, wouldn't mind having it for dinner again either. And that little thermos thing was fantastic because
Those are good. Yeah.
we warm it up in the morning and
And it's
pop it
good
off in the
food. It's
afternoon.
not like some trash processed
yeah.
stuff.
So in addition to the physical side of sports fitness, sports conditioning, what are we doing these days, or what are you doing from a mental toughness standpoint? Are you seeing changes in that? Is that part of your regimen on training?
Absolutely.
Because I know you're all about, like you said, making sure they're in there to train, they're motivated, all these things. But how do you train and build up a kid with better mental toughness?
I put him through it. Like, my thing is like, I'm going to toss a hurdle out in front of you. You may get over that hurdle, but my goal isn't to let you become complacent with getting over that hurdle. I'm going to toss another one out in front of you. Like, I love pushing the kids. I tell the parents, I said, I push the kids mentally just as much as I do physically, because sports is such a mental sport.
Yeah.
It's just as much mental as it is physical.
Yeah.
Like, you can intimidate someone if you're looking at them through a net, like you're a volleyball player. Mm-hmm. You get to stare at your opponent through the net. That's intimidating.
Yeah.
If you can like,
because you're within 2 feet of each other, right?
2 feet of one another,
Yeah.
and like, you're not scoring this point. Like, you can literally say that with your eyes and like stare through someone.
Yeah.
I'm like, the game is mental. Like, everything's about competition. Like football, I say this to the football kids that I'm training. Like, it's a me versus you thing.
Yeah.
It's me versus you, and I'm not losing. That's my mentality.
11 on 11.
Yeah, like it's me versus you, and I'm not losing. I don't care if you're bigger than me. I don't care if you're faster than me. You're gonna know that you met me whenever we're competing.
Yeah.
So you have to have that strong mentality and not be intimidated by people that are big. Oh gosh, you want the bigger kid out there playing. You want the fastest kid out there playing. Because you don't want the excuses to come, oh, we didn't have so-and-so. Oh, he wasn't playing. Oh, or she wasn't playing. No, you want to go against the best because that's going to bring the best out of you.
Yeah.
I tell those kids all the time, man, I love kind of putting them through the mental test. And like the box jumps is something so simple, but you can test someone's like mental fortitude with simply putting a plyo box in front of them. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how old they are. You can take a kid that is sitting there. I have this happen all the time. Like the kid I'm working with, they have a sibling that's just flying around everywhere in the gym. The kid that I have about to do the box jump, they're just staring at it. And before they even jump, I already know that they're not going to make it because of their approach.
Yeah.
They have the confidence wasn't there.
Body language.
Their body language wasn't there. And I use
They
wooden.
look defeated when they're looking
Oh
at it,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I use the wooden boxes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
It's
using
gonna hit
wooden.
them shins.
Yeah. they're you're either up there or you're not.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And I'm like, so I'll put it in front of them. I see some of them challenge, and then I'll take a break. And you see the little kid come over, and they're like, they just pop up there. I was like, does that make much sense that someone smaller than you could get on the same height box as what I have for you? I was like, I'm gonna put a test in front of you, but I'm not setting you up to fail. If I didn't believe you could do it physically, I wouldn't put it in front of you because that means you don't come. And if you don't come, I don't get paid. Mm-hmm. I said, so my goal isn't to hurt you, but I'm here to challenge you and like push you over those mental hurdles that are stopping you from competing at a level that you can compete at.
I like that.
And so getting box jumps is huge. You can watch a team of players do box jumps. And I had this happen during the summer. It was really cool, actually. I had box jumps set up as I was working with the volleyball team. And I had them different heights. And I was like, hey, if you can get it, fine. I didn't make a big deal about whether or not they got on the higher boxes.
Yeah.
My goal was just for them to keep moving. Mm-hmm. But the girls that were struggling to get on the boxes initially because I had them, they were all going. So they can kind of see one another, see the person in front of you, see the one behind you, and then you're standing there watching as the others are going through it.
So they're competing against each other.
Yes. And so, well, she got up there. And so it was crazy. Some that started to avoid the box beginning,
They're on it.
they were starting to like attempt. Then they went from just barely attempting, then they were on it. And I was like, did you see what took place? I was like, because everyone was doing it, you were motivated to do it yourself because you didn't want to be the one left out and not try to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, that lets you know how like a positive attitude is contagious just as much as a negative attitude is.
Yeah.
Now you can see a negative attitude take place really quickly. Like one person is down, especially if they're like the face of the team or whatever, like you can just see everyone that's,
You might as well pack it in.
you might as well just pack it up.
Not only that, but you got to have that competitive spirit or bone in you, right? If you're going to do that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have to be competitive. The best athletes in the world are some of the best competitors, right?
It's probably what separates them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I asked, I don't know how I come up with the question, but I asked professional athletes that I've been around. I was like, tell me what you did in the very best game that you played in. And that's the response.
Yeah.
They can't tell me.
They have no idea.
They have no idea. Like when Michael Jordan was shooting all those threes that game and he like shrugs like,
Flu game.
he's like, when he's going back down the court and he like shrugs
Look at
like,
Magic.
he's like, I'm just doing what I do.
Yeah.
The game was just flowing. It was just happening.
Yeah.
You were just doing what you've been trained to do, going in confidence, weren't over. Tell me what you did in the worst game. Oh man, I started overthinking this. You can come up with a list of things you were doing in the very worst game that you were playing.
Yeah.
But I've asked that question to literally former major league pitchers.
Yeah.
What did you do differently in the very best game that you played in? And no one has been able to answer it.
They were just in the zone.
You're just in the zone. You're just playing.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. That's probably the answer. They're just playing.
They're just playing.
We're thinking.
When you overthink, you'll underperform. You're going to think about doing one thing, then you're going to slack in another area. When you're just letting it just happen,
Yeah. Just play.
you just play. Most times you have a really good game.
Yeah.
Anything that kids can do different these days to stay motivated? Or is the fact that they don't have motivation, is that going to kill them?
Kids have to remember like why they're doing something.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's what my answer would be too. It's like the quicker somebody can do things for themselves, right? Like you've got to be invested from a personal standpoint, from a team standpoint. Like it can't be for mom and dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it can't be, oh, mom and dad wants me to be good at this, or oh, my uncle was a good high school football player, so I got to be a good high school football player. I think what's got to motivate a kid. Josh may think differently, but I think there's a little bit of that. Like you've got to find your own gear, your own what makes you go.
Yeah.
Right. Like
that's what I was like. I had the conversation with my son recently. Like, he's very athletic. He's on these really good teams, and like he hasn't been performing at the level he should be performing at. And so for me, that's been kind of frustrating. I'm like, bro, I know you can do better. I was like, I want to remind you, I'm not making you play anything. I said, you're an exceptional athlete. I love watching you play, but I'm not making you play anything. So if you feel like this is becoming too much and you need to gear down a little bit, it's like, man, just say something.
Yeah.
I said, but if that's not the case, you have to remember why you're playing. Like, I don't want you comparing yourself to this person and that person or what you see on social media. I was like, figure out why you're playing the sport. Why are you playing the sport? Why are you playing basketball? Like, if it's social time, like,
we can do something else.
Rec league basketball and rec league baseball is a lot less expensive than these travel teams. If you want to socialize, if you just want to mess around, have some fun, and joke around,
And that's fine too.
That's fine. I said, we can totally gear back.
Yes.
But if you're wanting to compete against the best, if you're wanting to be one of the best, you have to operate that way
That's right.
all the time. I said, treat practice like it's the game.
Yeah.
Work hard in practice. You're going to get more reps in practice than you are the game in the game anyway, especially in baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, when coaches hitting these hard ground balls to you repeatedly in practice, you're going to take 100 ground balls during practice, but in a game you might
get
get
4?
6, maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, so where do you think you should work harder at? You should work harder when you're getting more of the reps, because that way when you go attack the 6, you're going to have that confidence and you're going to perform at a level that you should be performing at in order to make that play. That's right. So my thing is like, find out why you're playing. Like, I don't want my kids living vicariously through me. Like I don't live vicariously through my kids. Like, do you? Like, yes, I was athletic. Yes, I train. I don't make you train and I don't make you play sports. I want you to be confident in who you are.
Yeah.
Develop who you are. Like, I want you to create your own name.
Yeah.
My name's attached to your name at the end. I said, but I want you to create your own name. Like, what do people know when they hear CJ? Like, what are people thinking when, oh man, do we want him? Oh man, but he has a bad attitude. He's not consistent. I was like, are those the things you want? Or you want to be that kid that's on, oh man, he's great.
Yeah.
I love playing with him. He's such a team player.
The ultimate baseball coach confidence or compliment is always like, give me 9 of him.
Yes.
Give me 9 of that kid and we can win.
Yeah.
Give me 9 Joshes.
I would take 100% effort every single time over a bunch of egos.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
Give me someone that's going to run through a wall for me regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I even helped a kid recently with his being recruited for a baseball team. A coach reached out to me about a player, and I was like, he's like, what about him? I said, he can certainly use the coaching. I was like, but you're going to get effort from him every single time. I was like, he won't stop.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for someone that's great out the gate, he's probably not the player for you. But if you give him a chance, he's going to work really hard and he's going to put forth effort. I said, so that's all I got. I was like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it just because I know the people. I was like, this is who he is. He's
Yeah. Which is what they want to know. They want
which
to
is
know
what
the
they
truth.
want to know.
That's
Like,
right.
I don't like sugarcoating things. I'm like, and if I'm gonna say something about you, like, it's gonna be the truth from my perspective, like on how I see.
Well, you got a
things.
reputation to uphold as well, man. So I get it.
Absolutely, and I don't speak for a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. But if I attach my name to it, it's one thing that I like to do is like it needs to be worth something.
Yeah.
It's kind of, which is why I just don't go out here just filling gyms with kids and like, nah. The few that have had me, a lot of them like kind of stick around. I had one of my soccer players. I had her in like 7th or 8th grade. She's about to start her junior. She's starting her junior year in college.
Still there.
She came back. She's like, I got a message from her dad. I'm like, man, why does this name look familiar? And sure enough, it was like, I had her at 7th, 8th grade and then hadn't seen her. She's like, I know Josh can get me ready for this sex scene. I haven't seen her in years.
That's
And here
awesome.
she is, a junior, going into her junior year in college, and then I'm receiving messages. Hey, I'm starting center. I was like, well, that's awesome.
That's awesome. She came back to you she's a woman now, all grown up, right?
All grown up, come back as a woman, and then like, and I'm pushing her mentally. I'm pushing her.
Still need that,
It's like they still need that. I'm like, I'm going to push you mentally now, so that when you go back, all the girls that haven't had this sort of training, now they're huffing and puffing, hands on their hips, and they're not really mentally prepared for what's taking place now. They have their physical, their running test when they go back.
Yeah.
She messaged me like, oh, I killed it, and we're doing 2-day practices, and I feel really good. I feel really strong, and I'm like, good. I was like, that's awesome. Like,
That's awesome.
That's the stuff I like hearing.
I love that motivational story. And, I think probably other athletes have said it all the time, but I saw a quote recently from Peyton Manning. He stated, the best players on the field on Sunday were always the better players that gave more effort in practice.
I would say so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And to your point, like you said, show the effort in practice. It'll get you far in life.
Yeah.
It sure will. Like, no, the fans aren't there at practice.
No.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to show out when everybody's there. That's why people that don't play the sport always want to play whenever it's game time.
Yeah.
They want the glitz and the glory. They don't want to go through the hustle and the tears and the sweat and the pain that it takes to get to that point of game day of everything else that goes along
Such
with
a
that.
good life lesson that kids learn if they're in sports, man.
Oh,
That
I agree
process.
1000%.
The grind. Yeah.
The grind.
Yeah.
And the
Stay in
grind is
even kill
gifted.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get too high on your wins or too
Yep.
low on your losses.
Nope.
Yep.
Right? So, Josh, every week, man, we do a rapid fire question session. If you don't mind, we'll ask you a few questions.
Oh, okay.
Simple thing of yes or no or
yes
A
or
or
no
B.
or A or B.
Okay.
Or yeah.
So we got a few things for you, right, Chad?
Yeah, we do. So I tried to do a little pre-show recon on Josh's social to ask some of the questions and couldn't get some of the answers that I wanted. But I'm going to start it out with a question that Jason and I were talking about earlier. Jordan or LeBron?
I'm a Jordan guy.
I mean, you got Jordans on. When he walked in, I was like, that answered the question. We thought you would be. That's why we were, when we were trying to figure age-wise.
Generation thing.
I think folks in our age group, it's got to be Jordan.
Yeah, it's more of his mentality
Yeah.
versus the play for me. Like
Yeah.
when you watch the documentaries and you
He's-
hear about how he was at practice.
Yeah.
Like everybody saw the flash during the games, but
Yeah.
it was his attitude during practices.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
everyone's an enemy if you're not on my team at
Yes.
practice. Like he expected everyone to be at his level and did what he could to bring them up to his level, like pushing all of their buttons to get them up to the same levels where they're champions.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you weren't going to give it 100% of practice on George's team, you were gone the next
Yeah.
year.
I mean, he
your
was
contract
literally
was over. Yeah.
Yeah.
six for six in NBA finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
didn't
unfair.
lose a finals. People wear Jordans. How many people are wearing LeBrons today?
He's a timeless history, man. It's insane.
NASCAR team owner also.
Yeah.
And
His,
they're doing well right now.
His team, the 45 car, is going to race for a championship this year. So
Yeah, they're doing
that's
well.
a little Jordan stuff. Mount Rushmore of athletes. You get 4.
Man.
It can be any sport. You could pick a baseball, a hockey, soccer. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore? And it doesn't have to be necessarily the greatest at each sport. Just your guys. Your 4.
Oh man, I like Bo Jackson.
I was thinking Bo Jackson when you said that.
Yeah. Bo Jackson. I like Dion. He was one reason why I wore 21
athlete,
anyway.
I mean.
Just crazy athletic and the confidence that he had as well. Like in playing that position, you have to have confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go with Muhammad Ali.
Ooh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
same thing, confidence and his mental toughness. Like even if he probably knew he was going to lose,
Yeah.
he never showed it.
Yeah.
Not at all.
He never showed it. And I'd liked Ronnie Lott in football as well.
Ronnie Lott.
Just
Yeah.
Beast.
just a beast of a safety, like no fear whatsoever.
That's a throwback. That's our era.
Yeah, that's a throwback, man. Like
Broken finger in the game.
Yeah.
Putting it back in place.
snap it back in place and
That's
just
right.
go to smack the next person, man.
And
So,
I
yeah.
remember if you guys are same age, right? Super Tecmo Bowl, playing with Ronnie Lott on the 49ers. Dude, like
Fumbled, you guaranteed.
every time.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bo Jackson
Bo
is the
Jackson.
guaranteed touchdown.
yeah.
Like
99
you got
yards
to
on
run
the
back.
sideline.
You got to
Yeah.
run back down and score.
Yeah, those would be my guys right
Yeah.
there.
Okay, I got a couple more. Beach or mountains?
I'd say mountains, man.
Mountains guy.
I mean, I'm not one of just. I'm chocolatey enough. I don't care about sun.
That was awesome.
I mean,
He said I'm chocolatey enough.
But is your wife dragging you to the beach more, or you saying let's go to the mountains?
I mean, I like the views of the mountains because I like fishing, you know, and all that
You
sort of
like the
stuff.
wilderness more?
I think I'm a wilderness guy. I love water though.
Yeah.
Maybe I am a beach guy because I do love water. I love,
But there's the lakes, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you choose the mountains. I got
if
you.
it's mountains and water, I'm going mountains and water over beach because sand gets on my nerves.
Yeah. I'm a beach guy. Like it's like pretty easy for me to answer that every time.
I'm
like
a half and half.
the beach guy. Yeah. How do I word this one on the rap? This one's not that rapid fire, but you win the Mega Millions, like $500-800 million. What does life look like for Josh the next day?
Not reading contracts.
I was
ever.
like, not reading. You're not
He's
going to
like,
read
I
books
quit.
anymore?
He's like, I quit.
I'll just pay someone to read to me.
He's like, can you read to me?
Read me this newspaper.
Audiobooks.
Yeah, you got 2 assistants at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Audiobooks.
Yeah. For me, it's about family, man. My upbringing was so wild. Like my brother, he's a pastor out in Union City. I buy my brother his own church, pay for my brother to get a church. I let my grandmother retire. Well, she's retired now, but take her on some flights. She's
Yeah,
never
man.
flown.
Yeah.
Like my thing is about just giving my family experiences that we haven't experienced or haven't experienced enough of.
Love it.
Because I went from sleeping in a car with my mom, brother, and sister, man, in a 2-door Chevy Beretta at the Tennessee-Kentucky state line. And so my life is different now, you know, from what I experienced growing up, but it would be just, Mom, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel like doing today?
I love it.
Like mine would be all about family. And of course I would have a toy or two here or there, but
Yeah.
man, just being able to chill and put smiles on my family's faces,
Yeah.
that would be mine.
Would you have the ultimate training facility? Would you still do that, or would you be
Yes,
done?
I would totally do that.
You would build like the most badass training facility in
Yeah.
Sumner County.
I totally would.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean, there would be something cool about that because you could do it and maybe do it pro bono, right? Like if money doesn't matter, I think there's sports. Unfortunately, is to be really good at sports, it's taking money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, you're gonna have some gifted athletes, but there's maybe people that
So many people miss out on it.
yeah,
Because they don't
I think
have the
kids
funds.
miss out.
Yeah. And I
think-
had a nonprofit in place that, you know,
Yeah.
a while back to kind of do that sort of thing,
Yeah.
supplement for those kids that
Yeah.
still deserve those opportunities.
That's
But yeah, my thing would be giving back
Yeah.
would be my thing, man. Just helping people appreciate life a little bit more.
Perfect. I've got a couple more, and we'll be done. Favorite restaurant?
I like Outback.
Outback. Old Faithful.
I used to work at Outback in
Did you?
college.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's where I learned the different cuts of meat.
I love it. Yeah.
yeah.
Was Outback, yeah.
Yeah. He worked there and still likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
We,
says a
and
lot.
we don't have one north of Nashville at all.
Yeah, there's still one in Rivergate.
Is there?
They still got them.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that one.
for sure.
And anytime I go to Lebanon, I
Yeah, Lebanon.
try to hit that one up.
Yeah.
Because that's the one I used to work at.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, when I was at Cumberland.
That's cool. Song.
Depends on my
It's so hard.
depends on my mood.
You can give me two.
Let's see. I like
What are you playing to get hyped up?
probably something from Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Petey Pablo.
That one was okay. Take Your Shirt Off was pretty good back in the day.
Like a twist it around like a helicopter.
You Don't Know Me by T.I. is probably one of my good
Okay.
ones.
Yeah.
That'd be one of my go-tos.
Okay. Movie.
The movie Life. I like Life. It's funny.
Life.
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna eat your cornbread, right?
Yeah, I'm the pappy. I'm more of a like
Hit that ball, Jangling.
true crime guy,
Yeah,
a lot. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching a movie, it's typically funny.
Yeah.
I'm a true
Yeah.
crime
Life is
guy.
freaking awesome.
Man, that movie is
You got a Netflix series that everybody needs to go watch right now? You gonna tell us one? a series right now that everybody needs to go watch if they haven't?
I tell you what, the Ozarks was quite impressive.
I haven't seen that yet.
Ozark's really good.
You've told
Ozark's
me
pretty
plenty of
good.
times I need to watch
Ozark's
it.
good.
Ozark's pretty
sure.
good. I mean, it's not necessarily funny, but
Yeah, but it's good.
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I like that.
Anything you want to ask?
Tiger King.
Tiger King?
No, that's it. Josh, we appreciate your time
Man, I
today,
appreciate the invite,
Yeah.
guys. This was
Yeah.
was
It's
good.
fun, Josh.
Yeah, this
If
was
y'all
fun.
need any sports conditioning,
Yeah.
see your boy Josh.
Holler
And
at
by
Josh.
the way, sounds like everybody's going to stay tuned to our race,
that's
our
gonna be
runoff,
awesome.
right?
I can't
Hey,
wait.
and I will leave y'all with this. Men, when you get out of the shower, don't forget to let it hang.
That's classic. right
Thank
there.
you, everybody,
Yeah.
for watching. NexGen podcast is out.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
All the things.
all the things.
All the
Yeah.
things.
Comment, please.
Comment, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can or cannot let it hang, let us know.
That's solid.
All right,
Appreciate
we're out,
it. Yeah.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
That was
awesome.
so good. As soon as he
That
said
was
that,
awesome.
Jason was like,
Oh, I'm running with this one.